In one of our previous videos, we showed how to remove the cab on the 17 to 22 Powerstrokes, and now I'm going to be showing you how to replace the engine in one. So we're going to start up here at the front. We're going to remove the fan. There's a nut back down in there, right down here. You're going to have to remove, and then this harness is tied up on one of those center pulley bolts. We're going to remove the belt, the fan shroud. There's some bolts in there. There's one there, there's another one down there, and same deal on this side. There's two more. We're going to remove both alternators, the power steering pump, and the AC compressor. I'll get back with you after I do that. Alright, so there's the fan and the shroud removed. We got an alternator here and an alternator here. It's a dual alternator truck. There is the compressor, and there lives the power steering pump. You do have to remove this idler pulley. It bolts up right here to get that alternator bolt out. But those are the accessories that we're going to start with removing. After all that, we'll go ahead and remove this upper intake, this lower intake. We'll have to get the turbo out, and the exhaust manifolds, up pipes, down pipes, stuff like that, so we can actually have somewhere to grab the engine. And there is all the accessories removed. We have the alternator off, power steering pump, that alternator, that compressor's off of there. Now we're going to go and we're going to pull the upper and lower intake and turbo and all that stuff. You can see from the back here, here's where the turbo lives. You can pull these exhaust manifolds off. There's one over here, one over there, and this downpipe. All that stuff's got to get out of the way before we can grab it and get it out of here. All right, here's what everything looks like without an upper and lower intake on it. We're going to go ahead and we're going to pull that turbo and those two exhaust manifolds, and this crossover tube for the EGR cooler comes over here. All that stuff will come off, and we'll be ready to at least have something to grab the engine. Then we'll also have to remove that cross mount bolt way back in there. There's 4 nuts on the bottom of this side's engine mount. It's back in here. It's underneath. We'll get to it from there. A couple of coolant lines from the front. This wiring harness, this bottom harness, it goes back to the starter and then up to the alternator. We'll have to remove that, as well as these bell housing bolts back here, and the starter, and torque converter nuts. All right, here it is with no turbo in the valley. There we are. Now I'll hook the chain on these studs here. Some of them, pull out. We'll put studs back in there when we lift it. You got to make sure that this downpipe's off down here, and that it's not going to get caught up. We're going to go ahead and remove this starter, that cross bolt, the other engine mount over on that side, and go ahead and do the transmission stuff. All right, we got the starter off. We got the bell housing bolts out. We got both those engine mounts cracked loose, one over here as well, and then all of our bell housing bolts removed. The next step is going to be to remove these 2 coolant lines, this wiring harness right here, and the fuel lines up here. Got a quick connect line here and a quick connect line here, and they run down the back and on down, and that should be about it besides the bottom radiator hose. Pop that as well, but other than that, that should be it. All right, we got the coolant lines, the radiator hose, that wiring harness that runs over to the starter, and all that stuff off. Now we got the hoist in place, ready to pull the engine.